Good morning and welcome to the Tiger TV Tailgate Show. I'm Gia Picarella, joined with Jonathan Salazar and Ashanti Jones. Guys, how are y'all doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, I had an early morning start. How about you, Jonathan?
Feeling great, feeling great. Nice to get some football early on in the day.
Yeah, any day I can talk about football is a great day. And LSU's back in Death Valley to face off against Arkansas, which makes today even better. That will be LSU's last SEC home game of the season. And Jonathan and Ashanti, how are you guys feeling about today's matchup?
You know, I think the Tigers had a rocky season, you know, but they should take this win today.
Yeah, I mean, both struggling teams at this point in the season. I think we're going to get a good offensive showing. Should be a high-scoring game, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, interim head coach Frank Wilson has his first game under his belt as interim coach. It was a loss against Alabama. They fell 20-9, okay? But he's got one game under his belt. We'll see what happens. His main goal is to run the ball and get the ball in the end zone for this game. Oh, shoot. Alabama's Ty Simpson completed 21 of 35 passes and had a touchdown. LSU opted to pass the ball against an Alabama defense that struggled to defend the run. Garrett Nussmeier completed 18 of 21 passes, but was benched with Michael Van Buren coming in the third quarter. Now we're going to go to the bite of Coach Wilson talking about how he wants to get into the end zone this game.
Having plays and being creative and trying to find a way to get that ball in the end zone. It has to happen. It has to happen in this week. It's a non-negotiable for us. We have to score a touchdown. That is our charge. And since practice on Monday all the way until today, we've made that an emphasis.
Let's turn it to you guys. What do y'all really want to see from the Tigers today?
You know, honestly, Gia, I really want to see these Tigers run the ball. You know, we can't do these field goals anymore. We really need to just put up some points, and they can't be field goals. How about you, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think I really want to see a great run game with Michael Van Buren. I want to see some versatility, and let's run the ball on this Hog defense. So. With that being said, the battle for the boot has produced some very memorable games, and LSU has had Arkansas's number as of late. But with this Tiger team spiraling, this is the perfect chance for Arkansas to strike. Now, let's take a look at some memorable moments in this rivalry.
This year, the winner of the big LSU-Arkansas game will take home more than just pride and bragging rights. The Golden Boot will be awarded to the victor, symbolizing the rivalry that's developed between LSU and Arkansas.
LSU and Arkansas have been playing for the 200-pound boot of gold since 1996. Here are some of the best moments in the battle for the Golden Boot. First, let's go back to the national championship season. LSU would win the game 56-10 on the back of Super Bowl champion Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
They run it here,
Edwards-Helaire finished the game with 188 rushing yards on only 6 carries, tallying 3 touchdowns. He even led the team in catches over fellow wide receiver Jamar Chase. Back in 2002, Arkansas shocked LSU in the SEC championship game with a late-game comeback, which would later be known as the Miracle on Markham.
Touchdown, Arkansas! Unbelievable!
Going back to last year, freshman running back Caden Durham ran all over the Hogs for 101 yards on 21 carries with 3 touchdowns. Both teams may be struggling this season, but that won't diminish the value of this game.
And wanting to hoist that trophy up in consecutive years. And so we recognize the battle for the Golden Boot. We understand our history.
LSU will look to give Arkansas the boot this coming Saturday. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Jonathan Salazar.
Now, this will be the first ever battle for the Golden Boot between 2 interim head coaches. And after this game, only one coach will walk away with some new hardware.
Now we have weather report from Cassidy Trepanier in the studio. Cassidy?
Welcome back. Let's get into this game day weather. So we do have an earlier kickoff than usual at 11:45 a.m. and around that time it will be 77 degrees. Now we're expected to see a high of 80 on Saturday. Going into 3 p.m. we see 78, so that high of 80 will probably happen between 3 and sunset. Around 6 p.m. we're seeing those temperatures go back down to 70, and at 9 p.m. it will be 66 degrees. We're expected to see a low of 56 degrees on Saturday night. That's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
When we're back from the break, we'll take a look at how LSU is putting in another quarterback to get some snaps on the field. And we'll take a look at each pull of the win right when we come back.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the Tiger TV Game Day Show. Now, Gia, let's talk about that LSU offense.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, and I anticipated we'd be talking about the LSU offense a lot this season, but I did not think it was going to be in this light. We've got a top SEC offense coming into Death Valley. I know their record doesn't show it, but they are very productive against an almost embarrassing LSU offense. Now, some things to put that into perspective, Arkansas has scored almost twice the amount of touchdowns that LSU has this season. I originally planned on going on a rant about how Nussmeier is not the biggest problem for this LSU offense, but that's kind of irrelevant with MVB starting today. So let's talk about this offensive line. Something's clearly not clicking. It's not a good look when you're still changing, who's where at the end of your season. I don't know if they're just not gelling because it's their first time starting together, or if it's a lack of maturity or discipline. Something's not clicking, though. And we saw that even against Alabama when Frank Wilson decided to put Ori Williams in over Weston Davis, who's a first-year starter. So keep an eye out for who is going to be that right tackle starter for today's game. Now, Ashanti, I know you've got more to tell us about this QB situation.
Yeah, Gia, with the kickoff approaching, all eyes on the LSU quarterback room. One play style, line and pressure is higher than it's been all season. With experience and mobility leadership, the Tigers offense leaned on Michael Van Buren to bring drives to this matchup. Here's the breakdown.
LSU features two distinct QBs, fifth-year senior Garrett Nussmeier, a pocket passer, and sophomore Michael Van Buren Jr., who shifts the pocket and makes plays on the move. Nussmeier processes quickly and takes deep shots with confidence. With 1,927 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 5 picks this season, he works best in a structured, timing-based offense. And his teammates feel that impact too. Wes Weeks said,
he did a great job with it. Like I was saying earlier, man, he is the leader of this team. He is number 18, and that's for a reason. That dude is a stud. Mentally, all he goes through, man, I don't even really know how he does it, but he's a true definition of a leader.
Van Buren brings out energy and mobility. He extends plays with his athleticism and delivers medium-range throws on the move. He's totaled 1,886 passing yards with 11 passing touchdowns and 5 rushing touchdowns in his early career. Nussmeier provides crucial decision-making and experience, while Van Buren contributes valuable momentum and creativity. When asked about both, interim head coach Frank Wilson said this.
Yeah, I'm confident in our quarterback room holistically. I think our approach and the things that we have prescribed for them fits their skills.
They may play differently, but the mission is the same. Move LSU's offense in the right direction.
LSU's offense can lean on structure, speed, or mobility. Now, question to you guys: what do you guys think Michael Van Buren will bring?
I think he'll bring a different look to the offense. I think maybe we'll get under center more, maybe some more RPOs, quick throws, make the game easier on him, and yeah, run all over this team.
Yeah, I mean, no point in beating a dead horse. I couldn't agree more with what you said.
With that being said, now we're going to take a look into the 3 keys of LSU to win the game. First off, we have LSU to win up front, protecting the quarterback and creating running lanes. That's how they will take control of the game early. Next, we have stop the big plays. Arkansas aims for explosive downfield shots. LSU needs to stay sound in coverage and limit those fast momentum-changing plays. And lastly, finish drives. LSU needs touchdowns, not field goals. With Michael Van Buren, he needs to run the ball to create capacity in the end zones.
Now, if Arkansas wants to come out with the win today, here's what they're going to need to do. First of all, they need to get out and run the ball. It's no secret that this LSU offense cannot stop a dual-threat quarterback. In the Tigers' loss to Ole Miss, they gave up 71 rushing yards to Trinidad Chambliss. And against Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia killed the Tigers on the ground with 86 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. And we all know how the Texas A&M game went. That being said, Arkansas's Taylor Green averages 72 rushing yards a game, and paired with running back Mike Johnson, the Hogs can very well run all over the LSU defense. Next, the Hogs need to get in the backfield. We all know LSU has had offensive line struggles this season, and with injuries and moving guys around, they haven't had any consistency or time to develop some chemistry. This has led to a lot of pressure getting to the quarterbacks, disrupting plays, and it's also the reason why LSU boasts a bottom 2 rushing attack in the SEC. If Arkansas can disrupt Van Buren and stop the putrid LSU run, they will have a good chance of walking out with the win. And finally, the Hogs will need to properly finish the game. Arkansas has ran into a lot of trouble closing games this season. The Hogs have lost 4 games this season with at least a double-digit lead in the second half. The Razorbacks held an 11-point lead going into the second half versus Auburn, but defensive lapses will lead to them being outscored 23-3 in the second half, leading to a loss. And just last matchup, versus Mississippi State, Arkansas held a 14-point lead in the 4th quarter after their first drive. Following that, they would give up 17 unanswered points, leading to a loss. Now, hitting on all these key points should give Arkansas the win, and they should be able to walk away with the Golden Boot. Now, I want to turn it to you guys. Do you think home field advantage will play a large role in today's game?
You know, I think it will, but I also don't think it will. It also won't. You know, I think no matter where you play at, you know, LSU hasn't been really, no matter where they played at, they really haven't been looking good. How about you, Gia?
I think home field advantage is always a component in every game, but I'm curious to see how much it will be with this being an early kickoff for the Tigers. I'm curious to see how many fans will even be in the stands, especially with the trajectory of this season so far for the Tigers.
Yeah.
All right, when we get back from the break, a special LSU alum is helping players and fans make a statement off the field.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the Tiger TV Tailgate Show. Now, Gia, let's talk about some football fashion.
Now, we know that the athletes will have the spotlight during the game on the field, but Wags and Girlfriends fashion, better known as WAG fashion, has been taking off recently. In the 2025, LSU alum started her custom apparel business to help those WAG fashion get even better.
At first, I started with women's boutique clothing, and then I kind of realized I had a knack for sportswear and custom game day wear.
Right behind me here in New Orleans, Carly built stately design from a dream to a reality. One custom design at a time, she's helping family members support their favorite players without ditching their style.
Being a fan of your partner is the coolest thing ever, and it's like my little part of a game.
The Nussmeier family is one of the many high-profile clients Carly has worked with. She's also designed a variety of custom pieces for the Manning family and even made a dog jersey for former LSU outfielder Dylan Cruz. His partner Jane Carson was even repping a jacket during her interview.
And then she customized it using Dylan's City Connect jersey. So this patch is from the jersey, and then this is the back.
Carly's business has taken off in the past 2 years, but that momentum would almost come to a halt just a few weeks ago when her studio ceiling collapsed during her busiest time of the year.
And I was actually working on a wedding dress right here, and I had moved my dress form over not even 5 seconds before this happened, and I heard a crack. It brought me back to my roots because I had sewing machines on the kitchen table like I had in college.
Thankfully, Carly was able to get her studio revamped quickly with the help from someone who has been supporting her since the beginning, her dad.
I think to see where she can actually sketch out, say, a bridal event dress and then create it is amazing. I couldn't even...
Okay, guys, we've got the band about to give those 4 magical notes. First time seeing that.
That was tough, the timing on that.
Look at them jog, wow.
We really did plan that perfectly.
Is that Shannon?
When we get back from the break, our very own reporter takes a look behind the scenes and what it is getting the athletes in sharp before game day.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives. every day.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And we are back. Jonathan, a lot goes into getting these LSU Tigers ready for game day.
Yeah, those purple and gold helmets and jerseys, it takes a lot of team effort. And Tiger TV's own Shannon Larkin has more on this.
You've seen the touchdowns, the tackles, the moments that make headlines, but you probably haven't noticed the people behind it all. The ones that make sure that every helmet is ready, every jersey's right, and every cleat hits the field on time.
Although mostly unnoticed, many of the items on the field are seen only because of the equipment staff.
For each player, it's their helmet, shoulder pads, jersey, pants, at least 2 pairs of cleats, thigh pads, knee pads, mouthpieces, gloves. Really anything you see on the field is us.
Guys will work on their helmets after practice and then re-stickering them. Got to make sure that the stripes are straight, everything's spaced out evenly. It's got to get checked by an older manager like Nick or me, and then just doing laundry and stuff like that, and then getting stuff back out.
Once all the equipment is ready, an 18-wheeler is filled at football ops, and the staff quickly packs all the equipment into large bags and starts to load the truck. When finished, they drive over to the stadium and start to unload. This is where they all come together and set everything up for the team.
Most of the time, nobody really knows that we exist. Like, they just think that the helmets they just get out there, and all the pads and all the uniforms, it's just there. But really, there's so much work that goes on behind the scenes, especially road games, home games, everything. We spend hours and hours at ops. That's what I was saying about they're my best friends. Everyone here is my best friends because we spend so much time together.
We're really like a big family. Like, my coworkers are my brothers. Like, even like some of the players are brothers to me.
They don't just work side by side, they work like a family, bound by the game they love, where the wins are sweet, but the team they've built is even better.
Although they don't wear the jerseys or get the headlines, their fingerprints are on every play. For LSU's equipment staff, it's not about the spotlight. It's about making sure the Tigers are ready when it's their time to shine. With Tiger TV, I'm Shannon Larkin.
Now, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes with these uniforms. Now, let's take a look at some of the suits of our new players walking down the hill.
A little underwhelming compared to the band, if I say so
Yeah,
myself.
I think I see one in a white t-shirt and some sweats. I don't know what's going on there.
We got a lot of players dressed out today.
I don't know if you can see the bling. Is it still in the frame?
Look at that blinging jacket over there.
Yeah, you see it right there in the middle of the screen.
Who is that?
I don't know who that is.
Maybe that's Barry Brown. He seems like the type to wear that.
Yeah.
The fans are fired up early this morning.
And look at those fans. They're not as crowded as usual, but we still got a good bit of fans here with it being so early in the morning.
I wonder what time those tailgates started.
Okay, we're coming back.
All right.
There's so much that goes on behind the scenes to have a success. When we come back from the break, we're going to take a look at the matchups injury report and what happened in other game days.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our everyday.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Tiger TV Tailgate Show. John's going to give us our injury update for today's game.
Yeah, for this morning's game, this is LSU's most updated injury report. Garrett Nussmeier is listed as questionable. Wide receiver Nick Anderson, defensive end Gabe Relaford, defensive tackle Ahmad Bro, and offensive lineman Tyree Adams will all be out for tonight. Along with that, star linebacker Whit Weeks will be out, missing his 4th straight game, and that'll be a big problem for the Tigers because they give up 33 points per game in games that Whit Weeks does not play. Now, for Arkansas, the following players are out. Defensive back Quintavious Scandrett, wide receivers Jalen Brown and Monty Harrison, running back A.J. Green, offensive lineman Shaq McCrory, tight end Adrian Pask, and defensive lineman David Oak will all be out.
Now, before we head out here, let's talk about some other great games that we've got going on throughout the day. First up is Notre Dame versus the University of Pittsburgh. Who are y'all taking?
In that game, I'm going to go with Notre Dame. Pittsburgh has not done that great against the run, against Power 4 conference teams, and we all know Notre Dame wants to run the ball and run the ball with Jeremiah Love, a Heisman candidate at the running back position. Yeah, I just think Notre Dame will take this one. I think they will dominate this one.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to tag off what you said. Notre Dame, I'm choosing them. You know, it's hard. My sister does go to Pitt, but, you know, that offense at Notre Dame is just unstoppable over there. How about you, Gia?
I'll follow the trend, and I'm also picking Notre Dame for this one. Now, next, we have at the 2:30 slot, we've got Alabama versus Oklahoma. Now, Alabama has not lost an SEC home game since 2019. Jonathan, who do you think's winning this one?
I have Alabama. I mean, we just went up to Tuscaloosa. We saw the Alabama offense firsthand, and you know, Ty Simpson's playing at a Heisman level. Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Williams, they're all playing really great, but the Oklahoma team does bring a great defensive line and front seven. I think they will be able to disrupt, but ultimately Alabama should be able to take this one.
Yeah, I am going to take Alabama for this one. You know, we just seen how they played, like Jonathan said, and I just think they're going to show us something. How about you, Gia?
I'm actually going to go against y'all. I'm going to take Oklahoma for this one. I think a lot like Texas we're about to talk about. Oklahoma has grown. John Mateer back from his injury. He's getting better every week, and they're led by a really strong defense, and I think it's enough to shut down this Alabama offense, so I'm going to go with Oklahoma. Now, at our primetime slot, we've got Texas versus Georgia. Who are y'all taking?
I'm going to take the Dogs. You know, I think Texas still has some work to improve on, but how about you?
I'm gonna take Georgia as well. I think, you know, Texas is gonna be playing away at Georgia. Arch Manning has been getting better every game, but he's going into a nasty environment over there in Athens. So I think Georgia will be able to take this one.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier, home court advantage for Georgia, and I think that is going to ruffle some feathers for Arch Manning, even though the Texas team has been getting better throughout the season. So I'm also going to go with Georgia in this SEC championship matchup. Now, really quickly, let's talk about the game we're about to go cover, LSU versus Arkansas. I'm going to go with LSU. I think they've got some momentum with Michael Van Buren starting. I think that's just what this offense needs to rustle a not very great Arkansas defense.
Yeah, with this game, I'm going to go with Arkansas. I think the Arkansas offense comes in here. They're a great offense. I think they come in here, run up the score on LSU. So.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm going to take Arkansas as well. You know, I just think the defense and offense for LSU isn't just there.
Well, that's going to wrap up our Tiger TV Tailgate Show. Be sure to check out our website at tigertv.tv and follow all of our socials at LSU Tiger TV.
And don't forget, Tiger TV's very own podcast, The Purple Room, available on YouTube and Spotify.
That you're the host of.
Yep, I'm the host.
I'm Gia Picarella.
I'm Jonathan Salazar.
And I'm Ashanti Jones.
Bye.